Bryce Young is a generational talent at quarterback and will greatly make his legacy in the NFL, and today I will tell you why. I'm Chase Keller, and welcome to Chase Keller Journalism. Hi guys, I'm Chase Keller, and welcome to my scouting report on Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, the projected number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. This is my first video, but there will be so much more to come, including a video this Friday, so be on the lookout for that. If you want more of these kinds of scouting reports, please subscribe to the channel and go check out my website and my other social medias linked in the description. Without further ado, here is why Bryce Young is a generational prospect at the quarterback position. To start, Bryce Young's physicals and vitals should not have any sort of implication on his draft stock. In my opinion, he does meet the physical requirements that the quarterback position needs. Bryce Young is 6 feet tall, 194 pounds, and is a junior in college. Actually, as the day of this recording, he just declared for the draft, so he is foregoing his senior season. Generally, the only thing that I see dropping his draft stock is a bad combine performance, but I don't even see him attending the combine. For example, Joe Burrow. But I don't see a reason for Bryce Young to attend the combine when he's already pretty much guaranteed that number 1 draft slot. With his departure at Alabama, it will be a little difficult for Alabama to replace Bryce Young. Jalen Monroe, Ty Simpson are the 2 guys who can pretty much have any shot at taking that quarterback position right now. If they are to turn to Milroe, I don't see him accomplishing as much as BY did, but Alabama quarterbacks have already proven me wrong. Mac Jones is a massive example. I didn't see Mac Jones doing a lot, and he actually did a lot for that team. I haven't seen enough of Ty Simpson to be able to say that he deserves that starting slot. How it's been going in this previous season with BY at QB, I do believe Jalen Milroe will be the one to take that position. As I previously mentioned, Bryce Young is the number 1 projected pick. BY statistics in 2021 is much more appealing than his 2022 statistics, as is his film, but Young is still a fantastic prospect, and I'm not going to lie, I think he should get as much respect and hype as Trevor Lawrence did a couple years ago. In 2021, Young put up nearly 4,900 passing yards with 50 total touchdowns and 7 picks, which was just a fantastic season that led him to be a clear-cut winner of the Heisman Trophy. 2022 was a downgrade. He threw for 3,300 yards with 32 touchdowns and 5 picks, but that bowl game against Kansas State was just fantastic from Bryce Young. Probably the best game he's played all season, but nonetheless, Young's ceiling is still extremely high. The film that I studied of Bryce Young includes 3 2021 games and 3 2022 games. I studied the 2021 game versus Auburn, the SEC championship, and the national championship from that same year. And in 2022, I studied the game against Texas, Mississippi State, and the bowl game against Kansas State, which was his final collegiate game. With that being said, let's go to the film room. All right, welcome to the film room. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the first and best positive of Bryce Young's game, which is poise. In my opinion, when you're looking at quarterback prospects, poise is the best attribute a quarterback can have, and all quarterbacks need some sort of poise to be successful. Accuracy is up there, of course, which we'll talk about accuracy later. The poise in Bryce Young is just fantastic. I'm going to show you a couple clips here to show that. So starting off here, we have 2022 versus Texas, one of Bryce Young's worst games, but Bama did come out on top in this game. This defense, it looks like a man. It might look like cover 3 as well, but it's going to be this DB blitz. This DB up here is going to come in and blitz BY. Of course, all the D linemen will. And then this linebacker is going to end up coming in on a late blitz as well. Other than that, these guys matched up here. This guy's matched up here. This guy's matched up here, and this safety is going to be the one to come down and cover this outside receiver. All right, up to this point, it's blatantly obvious that this linebacker is coming in. BY is right here. This linebacker is going to end up coming in and blowing BY up. But if you're looking here at the left side of the screen, here's that receiver we were talking about. He's going to end up getting the ball, and Bryce Young is going to make a fantastic throw as he's hit here, as the pocket collapses. He could totally just come out, scramble out this way or scramble this way, but he stays poised in that pocket, and he's going to end up hitting the receiver right there. Example 2, we have the national championship from last year. This play, Georgia's going to rush 5. They have the 4 linemen, and then this guy is going to come out around the edge right here. Everyone else seemingly plays man, except for the safety that's allegedly all the way in the back over here. These 3 guys right here are all going to play man on these 3 guys right here. From there, the guy who ends up getting the ball comes in right here, cuts in. He doesn't end up getting the first down, but I want you guys to watch how poised Bryce Young is as the pocket collapses all around him. Resorting back to Texas for the third and final example of poise. With this play, this guy's backing up into his zone. This guy's in his own zone. Everyone else right here, and right here are all in man. These guys are just playing massive cushions. Again, no need to watch which routes all the receivers are running. These guys are rushing 4, and they're going to surround Bryce Young and put a lot of pressure right into his face. And Bryce Young is still going to unload the ball out here and make the complete pass for a first down. Our next point of emphasis is accuracy here. And with Young having poise and accuracy in a quarterback, I could end the scouting report right there. But there's so much more to Bryce Young's game that needs to be noted. On this play, though, Georgia is running some sort of cover 2 man. This guy's in a zone down here. Like, you can't really tell, but there is a press corner down here. You have a bit of a cushion corner right here. And you got the 3 Bama receivers landing all the way up here with these 3 DBs over here. What Bama is going to do is they may make this look like a screen play as these 3 receivers, 2 of them are going to go forward, ahead, and one of them is actually going to start blocking over here. But both of these guys down here, they're going to go deep. And one of these guys ends up being John Mechie. Isn't going to be wide open, but Bryce Young is still going to make this fantastic throw over a few DBs, put it right where Mechie needs it. For the second example, we had the 2022 game against Mississippi State. Bama ended up dominating this game primarily due to the fantastic play from Bryce Young. This play isn't as impressive as the first one, but it does show his different types of accuracy. He's got the accuracy in the pocket, and on this play, you're going to see it in the run. How this play is going to work. These 2 edges are going to back into coverage. This guy's locked in right here. And then you have both of these guys are going to come in and blitz. Up at the top of your screen, you see 3 receivers bunched together. This guy is in charge of this guy. This guy is going to be in charge of the front man. And this DB is what I assume to be guarding this guy over here on the right because he ends up taking him in man once he comes in and slants down here. From this point, Bryce notices this pressure right here. He's going to go ahead and scramble out this way. What you won't see on screen is this receiver is going to keep coming this way. This receiver is going to go ahead and make his way to the sideline and get out. But this receiver up here, which you can't see on screen, he's going to go over to the back of the end zone, come back this way, and he will be open. Bryce Young makes a great pass on the run. For our final example of accuracy, we have the 2021 game against Auburn. Again, one of Bryce Young's worst examples that I watched, but he did pull out the win. Big 3rd and 18 for Bama right here. This Auburn defense is playing man. You're going to have this guy's cushioned on him. This guy's pressed on Jamison Williams right here, who's actually going to end up making the grab. This DB right here is matched up on this far receiver, and this DB right here is matched up on this close receiver. What Jamison Williams is going to do is he's going to run towards the middle of the field and out. And the pocket here is going to collapse for Bryce Young. He's going to end up going outwards and make the throw on his back shoulder. The third best attribute about Bryce Young is his reads. Now, I'm going to say something a little negative here, but Bryce Young's reads kind of remind me a little bit of Mitchell Trubisky coming out of college. He does sometimes get locked in on one receiver, and when that receiver's not open, he ends up either taking a sack or making a bad play. Nonetheless, this is a great play from Bryce Young. Mississippi State, cover 3. You got the 3 guys deep right here. And what this receiver is going to motion into here, and you can tell as this DB stays still. This DB ends up lacking in on him. This linebacker stays still, press coverage over here. But what Bryce Young is reading is this DB is going to stay. This safety is going to end up playing down over here. But because this DB stays right here, wham. Look at how much space this wide receiver has, not including the space that you can't see on the screen. So Bryce Young, you can already tell right here, he's looking that way, and he's going to deliver a pass right here. The freshman Bond is going to get this pass. Back at Texas, crucial 4th and 3. Texas makes a mistake. They're going to leave this seam wide open on this cover 2, maybe cover 3 defense. I'm not 100% sure. But with them leaving that seam wide open, here's what Saban draws up. This back receiver is going to come in, make maybe a quick little streak, kind of like a diagonal streak route up the middle. And then this receiver right here going to stack that route, go up the middle. They're going to have 2 options up the middle here to make a play. Watch the DBs as that front receiver makes his way up there, but also watch Bryce Young and him keeping his eyes knowing he is going to be wide open. So here you go again. All of this space right here, the back safety closer to the bottom of the screen that you saw is gone back, and all of this space is going to be open. Look at Young. Eyes already right there. He's going to make his way right here into that gap, and he will be wide open. Final example for reads. You have a cover 3 defense right here, a safety that you can't see off the screen. But Nakobe Dean's going to show blitz, come out here, play coverage out here. This linebacker is going to come in and blitz. That's not going to matter. Right here, Keeler Ringo, press coverage, John Mechie. Mechie's going to come out and cut back in. He's going to take Ringo off, and he's going to have a little bit of a cushion once he comes back. But watch Bryce Young. Bryce Young may have shown his eyes a little early, but after he shows play action, and immediately after, eyes right down here to Mechie. Before Mechie breaks, he knows he's going to break. He's going to throw that football. Mechie's going to get the catch. The 4th big trait about Bryce Young is his mobility. Back to Texas for this first clip here. They're in an interesting man defense here. These guys are locked in on these guys. This linebacker's locked in on this slot receiver, and then these guys are over here. Texas does only rush these 4 guys up the middle. As they rush, this guy right here is going to disturb Bryce Young for running up the middle. So what Bryce Young is going to do is he's going to use his mobility, cut up the middle, cut back, and roll out left. He's going to have right here, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be open in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Another goal line situation here for Bryce Young in the second clip, but instead of rushing 4 like Texas, Georgia in this national championship is going to rush 6. Bryce Young's going to immediately feel the pressure. He's going to use his mobility. He's going to go out here and make this throw down the inside. So here at Auburn for the third clip, way different scenario here for Bryce Young. It is 2nd and 18. Auburn is in a man defense here. But man defense or not, nobody's going to get open. Auburn's D-line is going to get to Bryce Young as he steps into the pocket, so he's going to go out left. Bryce Young is not the guy to scramble, so he's continuing to look for an open receiver or waiting for a receiver to get open. Nobody gets open. He gets pressured again, goes well back out right, open lane. He actually decides to take it. He gets a lot of yardage, but this play does get called back for a holding call. Nonetheless, Bryce Young showcases a lot of mobility here in this clip. Go ahead and watch. Bryce Young's fifth and final positive are his adjustments to throws. I'm sorry you can't really see Bryce Young, but he is back here. BY is going to scramble out left here. This slot receiver is going to come and slant in. This linebacker is going to play a zone over here. So because of that, you have this slot receiver wide open. Bryce Young reads that. He makes an across-the-body throw to connect with this receiver. Different situation for Young here in example 2. Back to the SEC championship. Georgia May looks like they'll rush 4. But this linebacker right here is going to come in and blow Bryce Young up. This receiver right here comes into motion, and that's the designed route. So Bryce Young is going to end up making this throw, but he's going to make this throw on a great sidearm. Sadly, the receiver does drop the pass, but a fantastic adjustment by Bryce Young. The final example for adjustments is using the national championship here. This just looks like a simple play. It is another design play, but because Bryce Young is immediately going to feed it to this receiver down here. Georgia is going to rush 4, but this edge right here is going to quickly disturb Bryce Young. If Bryce Young throws this pass normally, it's a deflection. So what Bryce Young is going to do, he's going to bend his body just a little bit to get another sidearm going, get it right to the receiver, dead eye, and the receiver is going to make a run. Now, there was a big negative that I saw in Bryce Young's game, and that is the inconsistency on his deep ball. As shown in the accuracy section, there was a moment and a couple moments throughout the film that I watched where Bryce Young connected very well on deep balls. But, nonetheless, very inconsistent with his deep ball throwing. For this example, I'm going to show you the most iconic example of Bryce Young's deep ball inaccuracies, and that is in the national championship. Keely Ringo's pick 6 to clinch the national championship for Georgia. You can't see everybody down here, but here is this receiver is cushioned by this DB, and Keely Ringo is down at the bottom of the screen pressing on another guy. Those are the only two guys you need to pay attention to. But Bryce Young is going to underthrow this deep ball right into Keely Ringo's hands, not even close on the deep ball. There's not a lot to notice here in clip 2 against Mississippi State. These guys are going to go ahead and rush Bryce Young, and then these guys down here, this slot right here, and this guy and this receiver right here, they're both going deep. But this slot guy is going to end up getting the ball. Bryce Young could have had an over-the-shoulder throw. He underthrows the receiver. Safety back there, it's picked. There was no safety back there, though, and Bryce Young just overthrew his receiver. Now, I want to reiterate something before I show you clip 3. Now, while I do agree that deep ball accuracy is the most overrated thing you can look for in a quarterback, I mean, a lot of quarterbacks have a really good deep ball arm and they don't succeed in the NFL. Or vice versa, quarterbacks don't have a deep arm, but they do succeed in the NFL. But when you look at current players like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, these great AFC quarterbacks, they all have that deep arm along with the playmaking skills that they have. Bryce Young has these playmaking skills, not so much the deep arm that they need. Nonetheless, here's clip 3. These guys are going to rush right here, these three. But these linebackers are going to come in on a delayed blitz. One of them is going to end up disturbing Bryce Young. He's going to have to step out of the pocket a little bit, and he throws a deep ball downfield. This deep ball nowhere close to the receiver, and the safety ends up getting the pick. While Bryce Young does have his concerns, the positives he brings to the table may help him develop into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't want to give Bryce Young an A+ prospect grade, but I will settle for an A, and I do project him to be a long-time starter in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if his first year was a bit lackluster, but trust me, he will be a stud by year 3. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Bryce Young scouting report. If you want more videos like this one, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And also check out the links in the description for more extensive coverage. Once again, I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and thank you guys for choosing this channel as your source of sports coverage. I will see you guys in the next video.